tip-off right here on Big East Shootaround on Fox Sports Go, the Big East Facebook page, at Big East on Twitter. We are coming in hot, Jay Alter. Preseason in full force. The countdown continues.
We are. I can't believe it. This is episode 10. Weeks moving right along here on Big East Shootaround. And can you believe it, John? We are 6 days away from Big East Media Day at Madison Square Garden. We will be there all morning long. Going to be a big show breaking down everything in Big East hoops like we have done for the last 10 weeks here in our Big East Shootaround studios.
John Nyatawa from the Omaha World Herald, Kevin McNamara from the Providence Journal. He also is one of the hosts of This Week in the Big East on Westwood One during the season. They're going to join us with what they foresee for Big East hoop season. One thing in the preseason that's always fun, though, midnight madness across campuses.
And our schools in particular do a great job, and I credit those students and the fans getting out, getting loud, always a good time. But you got to be careful. You don't want to have too much fun.
What the? Oh, my goodness. This looks like something on a WWE.
This is Steve Wojciechowski taking a little motocross for a spin. Uh-oh!
Oh, on the deck! But
he sticks the landing.
How about that? And then, like a walk-off home run.
Look at that.
He gets rallied around by his team. If you're going to have a disaster turn into pure jubilation, Wojo, way to pull it off.
It sticks the landing. I love it. Embrace it.
Have you ever rode a motocross?
No, but if I have, I'd probably end up like Coach Wojo, flat on my face.
I've never gotten on one before, and
video
games.
Let's not try. Let's not try.
You know what else we're not going to try? There's a Seton Hall freshman, and he's got a bit of a difficult last name.
Mamu Kelashvili. Mamu Kelashvili. All right? All right.
Mamu Molucci. Mamu Kiliskini. Mumashkavelli.
Mamu Shkavelli. Mumu Shkavelli. Mamu Shkavelli.
Mumashkavelli.
Mamu Kelashvili.
Okay, what do you got? You first, and then I'll give it a try.
Sandro Mamukelashvili.
Oh, that's how it is? I was going to go with Mamukelashvili.
That is wrong.
Wrong, okay.
Because you forgot the la. Mamukelashvili.
Oh, there's a la.
Tim Brando, Gus Johnson, beware.
Beware. But I hear he is really impressing people this fall. Look, impact freshman all over the conference.
Yeah, I mean, somebody said last week, it was Jerry Carino, the Asbury Park Press, was talking about Arturas Karnasovas, and then on top of that, Patrick Gauda, some of the former lefties for Seton Hall. Watch out for this kid. Sandro, and for short, we can go with Mamu.
Mamu.
Manu.
Mamu.
Yeah, Mamu.
Mamu.
Not Babu.
Mamu in the corner. He got it.
Very good man, Jerry.
Okay.
Very good man. You know who's a very good man is Jeff Van Gundy.
Yes. Taking on Hoyas practice, helping his good friend Patrick Ewing, taking over the Hoyas this year. I love that picture on the left because really Patrick's one of his main mentors as a player was Jeff Van Gundy when he coached the Knicks, and now giving back to the Hoyas. And for those kids, awesome to hear from one of the best coaches in the game, Jeff Van Gundy.
Does a great job on analysis too, and,
right.
And really I love watching him on the NBA Finals. I think this speaks to what Coach Ewing brings to the table, and Jeff was on the ESPN broadcast last night. They were doing some preseason basketball, and they've got their Midnight Madness this weekend with Meek Mill performing. But you see what Patrick brings to the table? He's been at the highest of levels, like we talked to him a couple weeks ago. He could say to a recruit, this is what you can do now. And to have guys like Jeff Van Gundy, Stan Van Gundy, and company serve as advice givers for, hey, here's how you could go about this. Mm-hmm. When a guy's been in the NBA for a double-digit amount of years,
absolutely,
the wisdom he brings to the table now is something.
Well, and you said he's crossed over to television, which he has, but this past summer he took on the young kids at Team USA and brought home a gold medal. So Coach Van Gundy, he still knows a thing or two, X's and O's wise, when it comes to coaching. What a great influence to have on Patrick Ewing in year one with the Hoyas.
We turn to the Villanova Wildcats. We talked about Midnight Madness going on. Well, the Wildcats host their blue and white scrimmage this past weekend. Jalen Brunson looking like he's in midseason form. Coach Jay Wright, he's getting them ready, and the lefty, he is going to shine.
Villanova basketball is a Ferrari, and now Jalen Brunson has the keys to this Villanova vehicle. And boy, with passes like that, you said midseason form, really like the Wildcats with Brunson at the helm.
Eric Paschal pounds it down. This was a highlight for sure. Omari Spellman and Phil Booth, they were out of this, but Pascal looked good. The Villanova freshmen look really solid. I'll tell you who's going to have a role on this team. They'll figure something out for him. Colin Gillespie. Remember the name, folks, as there they are on the fast break. The freshmen look good. This Villanova team is so versatile, but so is the Big East. Here's Jay Wright on the league.
No, I don't like it because I wish they couldn't challenge us. But I think they're right. Those teams are good. Those teams are really good. I think what makes both of them really good is they've got high-level experienced players. McCure and Blewett and Xavier are guys that have won a lot in this conference, and all the guys at Seton Hall have won a lot. So they're more veteran teams than we are.
Really interesting to hear Coach Wright talk about who could contend with the Wildcats at the top of the conference, because you and I and a lot of Big East Hoops fans have talked about it for the last couple of weeks. That is, if not the biggest storyline, one of the biggest storylines entering the season. Who can challenge the Wildcats after 4 straight Big East titles? And Coach Wright giving us exclusively his insight on who some of the teams could be at the top.
I think the conference's depth at the top is better than it's ever been since reconfiguration. So that's what makes it tough. You combine that with Josh Hart and Chris Jenkins graduating, and Villanova not having the on-campus atmosphere of the Pavilion. It's such a difficult place to get a road win at. Butler's the only team to have done it since reconfiguration. They did it last year. So the Wells Fargo Center is tough too, but it doesn't have that intimate feel of the Pavilion. Those are some of the challenges that Villanova faces heading into this season.
Absolutely, and you mentioned 6 days away from Media Day, which also will be when the preseason poll is revealed. It gets you excited.
I'm heating up.
Who do the coaches think the Big East teams will stack up this year? But also the fans. I want to hear from you guys. Give us your hot takes, okay? Coming up in about 10 minutes here on Shoot Around, we are going to roll through our fans' hot takes. 6 days away from Media Day, just under a month away from basketball being back here in the Big East. What are the fans thinking for hot takes? I've got a couple. I've got a couple hot takes, but we want to hear from our Shoot Around fans.
Media Day is an annual holiday around here. It starts up at Madison Square Garden, where that March to MSG ends in March. And we've got plenty of takes coming from Kevin McNamara of the Providence Journal and John Nyatawa from the Omaha World Herald. Before we do that, Mr. Alter this week was packaging together a lot of fun from past Media Days. Here's our TBT. Angel Delgado will be giving the clues. Kadeen Carrington will be answering. Do you have faith in Angel's clue giving?
No.
You can talk. Oh. You know what? Let's restart. That was really...
Make buckets.
Doug McDermott.
Pass. No.
Dikembe Mutombo.
2.
Where we at? Right
Madison Square Garden.
No.
McKinley Mutombo.
Chris Jenkins hit the shot. 3. Game winner. Buzzer beater.
Yes.
Yeah, 3. We gotta get moving.
What is that?
We can pass.
Yeah, pass that.
You can pass too.
Yeah.
You don't want to.
Pass. You
Chest
pass.
Nah.
Pass and
Cut. Nah.
You could pass the.
Pass.
If you can't give it
Right.
to you can move to the
Nah.
next one.
pass and
Pass and cut.
passing.
We all hate him. We don't like him. Blue-eyed kid.
Justin Bieber?
No, blue-eyed. We don't like him. Our leader, our knight in shining armor, number 15.
Oh, Ryan.
Yeah.
Well, with Big East Media Day just about a week away, we're going through the preseason storylines across the conference, and who better to do it than from the Providence Journal, Kevin McNamara, and from the Omaha World Herald, John Nyatawa. They cover Providence and Creighton, respectively, as well as the whole league throughout the season. Kevin, I'll start with you. What preseason storyline fascinates you most in the conference?
Well, I think the amount of returnees, John, is pretty interesting. That really up and down the entire league. The Big East, I think, has the most percentage of returnees of any big conference in the country. I just think it's the deepest league, and every single media person and coach says this at the start of every season, and doesn't always come to fruition. But this league is extremely deep this year, and that should portend to an awful lot of good teams.
No doubt about it. There's certainly a deep race for Player of the Year in this conference. We'll get to that in a moment. But, John, it's well known here that there could very well be 4 NCAA tournament locks, but the thing about this league entering this year is that 5-8 in the conference is a bit of a mystery. How do you see things playing out here?
Yeah, I don't know what to expect after the top 4 teams. I mean, I think teams like Creighton, Marquette, Butler, St. John's, they do have some returning talent, but there's some questions there as well. So I'm eager to see it. I think the amount of returnees across the conference that Kevin alluded to, that it might trim the gap just a little bit that Villanova has created for itself, of course, but also enjoyed over the last few years between it and the rest of the conference. So maybe we'll have a challenger to the reigning champions. That's something that I'll be watching for sure.
Are you buying that, Kevin, that there is a challenger to Villanova for the regular season?
I am buying that, John. I think this is, they should be picked first. They are on paper, especially with a player like Jalen Brunson leading the way, very dangerous. Last year I didn't think that they had a team that could win 14 games, in the league, but Jay Wright seems to do that falling out of bed every year in this league. But, if you had to, put a gun to my head and say, will Villanova repeat? I think this is the one year that I say that they will not win the regular season.
Well, let's turn to the Providence Friars, and you reported last week that Emmett Holt, one of the major contributors of this team, is out with an injury and could very likely miss the season opener. What's the latest?
Yeah, I would extend that. Emmett has been off campus. He's been hospitalized for a long stretch and really hasn't been on campus for 3 weeks to a month. So obviously, not in class, not eating correctly. He's been very ill with an abdominal issue, is what Providence has said. And I would be surprised if he can play in the first semester. He could be gone for the year. Obviously it's awful tough to say on October 12th, whatever it is today, how someone's going to be feeling at Christmas time, let alone in January. But Emmett is very ill, and Providence is very concerned about his status for this upcoming season.
What is Ed Cooley's plan to replace what he has done?
Well, the good news is that this is easily the deepest team that Providence has had in Cooley's time. The very impressive young big men that we're going to play anyways, even with Emmett Holt around. Khalif Young, a sophomore center, has made really big gains in the summertime. And Providence is really excited about Nate Watson, a 6'9" freshman from the D.C. area. So those two big guys were going to play anyways. I think now they're going to play even more time. If you asked me 2 months ago, I may have said that Emmett Holt was Providence's best player. He's vastly improved and was really playing well. So it's really unfortunate for him.
We turn to Creighton, the Blue Jays coming off an NCAA tournament berth. John, what needs to happen for them to return to the big dance?
Well, they're going to have to get some contributions from some new faces, or at least players that hadn't necessarily been in those high-profile, big-time roles yet in their career. I mean, they lose 5 rotation players from last year's team. There's going to be some new faces and new places, and they have to sort of work out those roles and figure out how everything gets sort of worked together. But there is talent, and they've got maybe one of the more electric and explosive wing combinations in the Big East, maybe in the country, and Marcus Foster and Kyrie Thomas. And so they know what they're going to get out of those two, but just kind of molding the rest of the team around that duo, I think, is the challenge for this team.
Is Caleb Joseph this team's point guard, or is that still a question that remains to be answered, maybe a by committee scenario?
That is the question. That might be the question. Maybe the question that I hear from fans the most is who's going to play point guard. Obviously, Caleb Joseph's probably the front runner, I would say, but there's 3 other players who are taking reps at that spot in the coach's mind. They're still evaluating, but I do expect multiple players to contribute at that spot going throughout the season.
Let's go rapid fire right now on Shootaround. Kevin, who's the best player in this conference?
I think it's Marcus Foster from Creighton. Big time 2 guard. If I had a fantasy draft, he'd be my number 1 pick.
John?
I'm going to go with Jalen Brunson. I love what he does with the ball in his hands, his ability to navigate ball screens and kind of get in the teeth of the defense, not necessarily always looking to score, but creating for others. He's a guy that is a nightmare to defend.
Kevin, who's your league dark horse team?
I think Marquette is still really dangerous. If they don't have the best pair of guards in the league, it's really close. I know Providence hated to play against Marquette because it's just really tough to defend Marcus Howard and Andrew Rousey. And, knowing Wojo, I'm sure he has some new guys who I couldn't even name right now who are going to help them even more. And the three-point shot is obviously revolutionized basketball at the NBA level, even more at the college levels. And those two guys really, really can stroke it.
John, I'll hand it to you.
Yeah, dark horse. Can I pick Providence? I mean, I think in Big East circles, a lot of people know that this program's really good. And I don't know, on the national scale, I don't think Providence is getting enough respect. And I think the coaching job that they did last year and how much they're returning this season, I think they're going to surprise some people. So I mean, Providence is going to be picked in the top half of the league. I don't know if that counts as a dark horse, but I'm going with the Friars. I think they're going to be really good.
All right, who has more fun at a bar, Greg McDermott or Ed Cooley?
Ooh.
Well,
Greg's pretty outgoing. I mean, I haven't dealt with Ed in a one-on-one setting, but I know Greg can carry on a conversation with pretty much anybody. So he's a very social person.
I can't say that I've been in any social settings with Greg McDermott, but when Ed Cooley walks into any room, especially a bar, people know he's there.
If I could have somebody wake me up every morning, it'd be Ed Cooley. Like I could play for that guy. I think anybody could for any of these coaches. Well, guys, thanks so much. I'm looking forward to the season. We talked about the depth. We talked about the stars. This conference, man, you could argue it's deeper than ever. Thanks, Kevin and John.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks to those guys. They were excellent, Jay.
Great insight.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And it got us inspired on Shootaround to start up the fire engine here in Big East Hoops. Hot take time.
Well, we had a call for action earlier. Big East Shootaround fans, Big East basketball fans, give us your best hot takes as we get ready for the season. And John, our fans delivered and then some. Let's get it started. I want you grading the takes. The big board is back, everybody. Here we go. Let's get it started. Amari Spellman will be the Big East Player of the Year. John, this Villanova center hasn't even touched the court. This is pretty hot.
That's scalding hot there. I think Omari Spellman could very well be the best freshman in the conference, but Jalen Brunson, Angel Delgado,
right.
Trayvon Blewett, and then you just heard Marcus Foster. It's too deep with experience for him to be the Player of the Year. That is jalapeno hot.
Keep it going here. Got a lot to work through. The interaction was phenomenal this week from our Big East Hoops fans. Kasum Yakwe, big man for the Red Storm, is in the running for Big East Defensive Player of the Year. Beamer Cat says he's going to average 7 rebounds a game. That's Buffalo chicken wing hot, I think.
Yeah, I got to tell you, he averaged 2.5 blocks per game as a freshman.
Right.
So I think it's medium heat. The 7 rebounds, he'd have to double his total from a year ago. Now, St. John's needs better rebounding. I don't think that might be necessarily in the cards, but 2.5 blocks could have medium heat.
Doable, medium heat.
Yeah.
Let's see, Buffalo for me is medium.
Yeah.
So here we go.
It's just tough. The conference is filled with defenders. What do we got next?
Number 3. We love the interaction, by the way.
Yeah.
This has been phenomenal.
No doubt. Yakwe, he's a good defender, but we shall see. We're waiting for the next one, folks.
Got one more
Beamer
coming.
T-Cap, by the way, is such a
phenomenal.
Great,
okay, Creighton will finish in the top 3 in the league. Stacked Big East Conference.
It's a hot wing. It is, because when you don't have a real true point guard, you just heard John Nyatawa say it. They're still trying to figure out the answer to that question. Combine that with the loss of Justin Patton, and that's going to make it tough for them. It really will.
I'm going to need some milk after that take. Wash it down,
cool
the tongue down a little bit.
Yeah.
Nate Watson wins Rookie of the Year. Just heard his name again. Kevin McNamara tossing it out as an impact freshman. Could he be Rookie of the Year, Freshman of the Year?
I think that this is actually doable, really, because Providence, the size they welcome in, they're going to utilize it. So, folks, I don't think it's out of the question that Nate Watson could be the Rookie of the Year. He's a very, very good player. He's got a lot of competition, though.
Amari Spellman comes to my mind. I mean, somebody thinks he could be Player of the Year, let alone freshman.
Yeah.
All right, keep it rolling here. Seton Hall shocks the conference and finishes first. You might want to get the hose for this. No, it's not that unrealistic. But when Villanova's won 4 in a row, it's going to be somewhat hot.
We asked for hot takes, and this is right on the edge of Buffalo for me. For me, this is a solid hot take that could very well happen.
Got to cool you down. Gotta cool you down.
Because I think Seton Hall and Xavier, would I be shocked if one of those two teams, Xavier went to the Elite Eight a year ago. If you're an Elite Eight team from a year ago, he didn't say Xavier, but Seton Hall, to say shot the conference, compared to what we've had.
Could it happen? Sure,
Yeah.
but it is a hot take.
Yes,
it is
a
definitely a hot take.
Yes.
Keep it rolling. Ed Cooley will be Big East Hoops Coach of the Year.
This is a garlic parm wing. This isn't hot
Not
at
hot.
all. No, I don't think it is. I think he could very well be the best coach in the league. He's that good. We're filled with great coaches. Chris Holtman won Big East Coach of the Year. Kevin Willard's won Big East Coach of the Year. So we've seen different guys step up and win Coach of the Year. Ed Cooley's right up there. He's one of the best coaches in America. So could he be Coach of the Year? Heck yeah.
And with nearly everybody returning from last year's team.
Now with them at holdout, how do you handle that in the
Right.
preseason? You got to consider these things.
All right, keep it flying. Right, another Providence one. Ed Cooley and the Friars will finish runner-up to Nova. How hot?
It's not scalding. It's very spicy, though.
Okay,
Because
it's got
of
a
the fact-
kick.
Yeah, because of the fact that Xavier and Seton Hall are so stable, Jay. Like, I know that Providence went to the NCAA tournament a year ago, and I completely have respect for them, think they could make a deep run. You're going up against heavyweights, though, to get runner-up, man.
It's true. It's true. Keep it going.
Man, this
Love
is
it.
fun, though. Whoa!
Wow.
Crime bait! Holy cow!
Pons will win Player of the Year in the conference and lead St. John's to the Sweet 16. Jalapeno pepper.
Let me tell you something. Where's the right here? Right here. I need a close-up camera shot. I'm gonna tell you right now. Glasses are off. Here's how hot I think that is. It's so hot that when I walk into the restaurant, I say, you know what, Jay? I gotta sign a contract just to get this chicken wing. But I'll tell you right now, I'll sign that contract. We asked for hot takes. Crime Bait did not let us down. This is a great take.
The glass is fogged up. That's
Yeah,
how
they
hot
did a little
this take
bit.
was.
You know what? It's a bold take, but Shamari Pons, swift and smooth. He's got rich competition. I don't mind, though. We asked you for hot takes. You delivered.
Johnny's
We do
in
around
the
here.
Sweet 16. The Yankees will come back to win the ALDS in 5. Sorry, that was a late edition.
What a
that was
blow.
a late edition.
Come on.
Big Cleveland,
It's a big gut punch.
big Cleveland
right there.
sports fan right
a big
here.
gut punch. Who did that back in the
That
control room?
That was
Come
on
on.
me. I hate
The
to
Yankees
say
will
it.
come back. Yeah, they did. They did come back. Good for them.
How about Big East Hoops fans delivering on the hot takes?
You guys were brilliant.
We keep
This
it
is a
rolling with
brilliant
shoot
take.
around though.
Yep.
We go to the court. Marvin Clark, Justin Simon. Hey, if the Johnnies are going to end up in the Sweet 16, it's not going to be just Shamori Pons. Simon and Clark take the court with the two of us, do a little basketball karaoke. But first, take a look at Patrick Ewing's newest freshman. It's the Hoyas recruiting class.
As they enter their first season under head coach Patrick Ewing, the Georgetown Hoyas bring in the 5th best recruiting class in the conference, according to 24/7 Sports. This 4-member group is powered by Jamarco Pickett. He is a 4-star, 6'7" wing who will give a Georgetown team that has 7 players listed at 6'7" or taller even more length. Pickett, who is a DC native, played at Mass Newton Military Academy in Virginia and will give the Hoyas a new option on the wing. He was ranked 78th in the 247sports.com recruiting rankings, and Patrick Ewing has high expectations that Pickett will be an immediate weapon for the Hoyas. The Hoyas also welcome in a 4-star center, according to ESPN, the 7'3" Chris Yannick Sodom. We know the Hoyas welcome back standout center Jesse Govan, but look for this 7'3" beast inside to contribute as well. Antoine Walker is a small forward at 6'7" out of Hargrave Military Academy, who is known for his explosiveness and big-time blocks. The Hoyas also welcome in Javon Blair, who's out of Orangeville Prep in Ontario. He's a 6'3" shooting guard who will give them depth in the backcourt. This 4-member class looks to make their way into the Georgetown rotation as the Patrick Ewing era begins. Who said they like Tom Cruise?
I love Tom.
You love Tom Cruise. Why do you like Tom Cruise?
I don't know, man. He's just, he's a little guy, but he does his own stunts. His movies are blockbusters. I love Mission Impossible, Last Samurai. I love I can go on.
You like Tom Cruise.
Top Gun. I can go on.
You like Will Smith. Yeah. I think we could be in a Hitch remake.
Oh, I see it. I see it. The two of you.
You're a mess. But yeah, hey, we get something, you know what I'm saying?
I got Kevin James in me.
All right, let's get into it. We're at the court. Do some basketball karaoke. So we're going to put you guys
Keep
on
it
the
light.
spot. All right. You got to do your best impression. So Justin, I want to start out. Imitate this guy. Imitate Marvin Clark.
Imitate Marvin.
What do you got?
I'm coming down here, full head of steam.
Oh boy.
Coming left hand. Right there.
Except it's going in.
Yeah,
This is my left hand.
it's that touch, bro.
That's the go-to. Y'all gotta watch out for that.
I mean, I could do just
All right, let's see it.
just as game this a couple times with his pull-up jumper. You know, he comes off, a little hezzy, raises up, bucket.
I can do
He can do rush.
Okay, rush first.
That 2 foot through the lane is crazy.
Come here. Easy. Woo! Something light. Little blow by.
Marvin, you spent some time in Michigan State. Said Draymond Green. You call him Big Bro. Can you
Yeah.
give me a little Draymond impression in the paint?
In the paint?
Come on.
And one! Every layup is and one!
Get the leg kick.
Every layup.
Get the kick.
Order. I can't do that to Big Bro. I can't do that to Big Bro.
Nah, Draymond, man.
Now, Coach Mullen squared off with Kevin Durant.
I can give you some bullet.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
all right, here we go.
He got coach's jumper now.
Coach, hey, don't embarrass me when they make you do me. Here you go. Face. Face.
What's that? Game face.
I seen the KD shootout and I quoted it. Coach kept it ratty on him.
And you guys said you talked about how he gets engaged with practice. How exactly does he do that?
Man, he's hands-on. He's passing you the ball. He'll set you the pick.
Just to have him as your coach, and same with Mitch. Like, they're very hands-on working. Mitch. Not too many people have that on their staff.
Yeah,
we use that to our advantage.
And when I say they're hands-on, they'll guard you. Like like we doing one-on-one drills. They'll hop in and guard
Mitch
you.
is in like he was in Jordan. Yeah. Come on, dog.
Got any pregame superstitions?
I have to wash my I gotta wash my hands before I step onto the court.
Well, I'm probably one of the weirdest guys on the team when it comes
Superstition?
to that. I'm superstitious.
Knock on wood, whatever.
So when I wake up, this is every day. It's not before games. This is every day. Left sock has to go first.
Wow.
Then right sock. Then left shoe. Then right shoe. And when I swipe deodorant, it has to be 7 swipes.
7?
7.
What if you're running out? What if the stick's empty?
I gotta keep
No,
going,
the
man.
stick does always, it's always refurbished. Speed stick?
Nah, I'm a
Old Spice?
Old Spice guy.
I'm
Whenever
like
I'm out
that.
of college, Old Spice, I would like to be endorsed.
We'll wrap with this. You look right into that camera. Tell St. John's fans what they should be ready for in 2017-18.
I have been saying this since I transferred here. I'm gonna say it again. 2017, 2018, stay tuned. All right?
And I'm gonna
Stay
say this.
tuned. Not definitely gonna talk.
Don't blink, St. John's fans. We got a fast and athletic team, and you don't want to miss anything.
For the Big East, own the city. Own the city.
And remember, 7 swipes.
7 of them things.
And left before right as well.
Those guys were hilarious. Good luck to Marvin and Justin this season and St. John's, 2 immediate impact transfers. We turn to Beyond the Game this week, and over the weekend was the annual Macathon for the Chris Mack Family Foundation, which was starting up in 2016. It benefits underprivileged kids in the Cincinnati area. This is really a great cause, and it's like a Tough Mudder, but for kids, ages 6 to 12. Out running, out doing fun activities, and Xavier men's basketball players were with their head coach over the weekend, this on Saturday, and this is great to see. Chris Mack out in the community with his family, the foundation, as I said, starting up last year, and the goal is for it to benefit 20,000 underprivileged kids in the tri-state Cincinnati area by 2020. The Macathon doing great things. How about that, folks? Players and their head coach with the youth around Cincinnati and their families doing running activities for the underprivileged in the area. Awesome to see. And a lot of our teams have been out and about with preseason service as well. We are getting ready for next week right here in the Big East offices. Wednesday, we are live from Madison Square Garden for Big East Media Day. That's right. The coaches, the players, this is from last year, will be on the floor of the Garden. You'll get to see interviews and so much more. The unveil of the Big East preseason poll, as well as your all Big East preseason teams. That's it right there Fox Sports Go, the Big East Twitter, as well as the Big East Facebook. Big East Shootaround is live from the Mecca, the world's most famous arena, to start what is a long Big East hoops grind. We start where it ends in March. The Big East tournament will be celebrating 36 years at MSG this year, and we will start it all off with Media Day on Wednesday morning. Jay and I will be with you throughout the day from MSG. Don't miss that on Wednesday or on @BigEast on Twitter, the Big East Facebook page. Tune in Wednesday for Big East Media Day. This has been Shoot Around. So long. Have a great weekend, Big East Hoops fans.